Hello, my dear students. It's nice to be back once again. Even today, we will be discussing about class 11, Sociology, and I will be discussing about the basic concepts which we were discussing in the last class. And we started with the topic of social group, okay? And again, today I will be, discussing the same topic, but, there will be different subtopics which we will be discussing. And in the last class, I had discussed about the primary group, the social groups, okay, primary social groups, and I also give a brief introduction about the secondary social groups, okay. So with that, okay, I will begin our classes. Now, under the secondary social group, okay, we had discussed that, okay, this group of people does not have very intimate relationship. They are not very close to each other, and they are together because of some formal organizations. For example, in a group of political party, there are different groups of members, right? And that kind of relationship is not very permanent, okay? For example, you meet someone in the election, and then you talk to them, and what happens is that after the day of the voting and everything is over, you come back home and your relationship is over with that particular person. See, that relationship is built just because of the formal organizations. That is what it means here. The next is unlimited size of members, It can be a large group of people. That is what it means here, okay? So, large group of people, that is what it means here. Now, here, under the secondary and primary groups, okay? Under the primary and secondary groups, okay? There are some certain distinction. There are some certain differences, okay, which we can see. The first is face-to-face intimate relationship is what we can see under the primary relationship. But in the secondary group, okay, what happens is that face-to-face relationship or that intimacy is something which we cannot find, okay, under this secondary group. That is what it means here. Now, the second is that, okay, they may share a common interest. The primary groups, they may share a common interest, okay, but the members of the secondary share only limited interests, okay, means, okay, they have common language, for example, or they might be having mutual cooperation among the society, okay, among the people, okay, but here, for example, they are working in an office. So once they achieve the goal of that particular year, okay, and that's over for them, okay. So here what happened is that the interest is common. Here they are here for a certain period of time only, okay, not for a very long period of time. So the interest is also limited compared to the primary group. That is what it means here. And that is the reason why here the relationship is person oriented, okay, built by the person itself, okay. Here the next one is the relationship is based on goal oriented, okay. The relationship is quite personal here, okay, and there is a relationship between person to person, and thus it's a very intimate relationship. But here it is just goal oriented. You are together, you are together because, okay, you are supposed to achieve a certain goal, okay. Now what happens is that in a political party, group or a group of people work together so that they achieve power in the future, okay. But in a family, okay, you are together because you have built a certain relationship with each other, because there is a blood relationship, because there is marital relationship between the people, and that is the reason why this bond is enduring. But here it is for a short period of time and it is goal oriented. That is what it means here. The next is secondary group and the primary group. There is a difference in their size, okay, size. There is a difference in the size of the primary and the secondary group. It says that the primary group, okay, is small in size, okay, small in size, and the secondary group is large in size. So there is a certain difference between these two group of people. The size may vary, okay. Like I've mentioned, it may just confine your friends, okay, a small group of friends whom you are very close to each other, and along with that, your family is also a primary group. But under the secondary group, okay, the group will be very large. That is what it means here. The next is members have intrinsic value. while in the secondary group, it is extrinsic value, okay. Now what happened is that, the values also, okay, it may be quite personal. The other one is for orienting a certain goal. That is what it means here. The last one is permanent group, okay. Here, primary group is a permanent group. It is permanent, means that particular bond lasts for a long period of time. Now, your relatives, your family, whether you like them or not, okay, some of them, okay, whether you like them or not, that particular relationship will be till the day you die, right? Or till that particular person die. And in that way, that is permanent, okay? That particular bond is permanent. But, okay, in the secondary group, okay, the relationship is temporary, okay, it is for a short period of time, okay. So it is temporary, that is what it means here, okay. And for example, I might be working in a place, okay. You might be working in a place and you have been working there, you have been transferred to some other place. Now the relationship that you build with that particular person in that particular office, okay, might slowly end, gradually it might end. Why? Because that relationship is just secondary. Or you're coming together, once you have achieved the goal, you go back to your own places, right? And that is the reason why it says that, the relationship is temporary here, okay? That is what it means here. Now, the next distinction or the next classification of social group is in-group and out-group, okay? This is what we can find here. In-group and out-group. In-group means, in-group here, according to W.G. Sumner, he says that, from the concept of in-group and out-group on the basis of subjective attitude of members, it depends on us, okay, whether we consider those group of people as in-groups or out-groups, okay. Here, he also says that, okay, individual identifies himself as in-group. Now, for example, I belong to the community of Ao. Now, I consider our tribe or our people as my in-group. Why? Because I am a member, I'm an affiliated member of my own community, okay. For example, I belong to Sanctum tribe. Now what happens is that I will feel that, okay, Sanctums are my in-groups and Aus are the out-groups. Why? Because I belong to the Sanctum tribe and I do not belong to our tribe. Why? Because my own tribal people, my own people, have a certain way, okay, of living in a society, which we call it as characteristics or culture. Our culture may differ, okay, from one to the other, and that is the reason why, we are similar to each other. That is the reason why we call ourselves as in-groups, and the other one, where we treat outsiders, treat some people as outsiders, and these people are called as out-groups. Let's discuss in detail about these things, okay. He identifies, okay, here W.G. Sumner, S-U-M-N-E-R, Sumner, okay. So underline this particular person's name. It's there, is given in your page number 22, okay. Page number 22, first paragraph, the name itself is given there. He identifies himself by virtue of his awareness of likeness and consciousness of kind, It's because, okay, you feel that you have a similarity to that person, or your conscience itself accepts those people. And this is the reason why, okay, you consider that this particular group belongs to your own in-group. That is what it means here, okay. For example, your family, okay, your family, your neighborhood, or your tribal people, or it may be people belonging to your same clan and all those people, right? So in that manner, we may describe that particular group as an in-group. That is what it means here. Again, and among this in-group group of people, okay, in-group, social group, what happens is that they cooperate with each other, obviously, and they interdepend on each other also. For example, in a social organization, for example, the Ao students or the Naga students union, okay. Now what happens is that under this Naga students federation, we have different tribes, okay. Now they say that they belong to one group And that is the reason why they have to cooperate with each other, right? By cooperating with each other, there is something there is something good that happens in the society. There is peace and harmony for which this group of people would work, so that, it will result something prosperous in the near future. And in that way, okay, this kind of relationship or this kind of group is called as in-group. That is what it means here. Now, this in-group is also called as we group, okay? The in-group is also called as the we group, okay? And this group of people, has a considerable degree of sympathy, sense of solidarity, loyalty, friendliness, and cooperation. There is a sense of sympathy. If something bad happens to the person, okay, you may go and you may visit that person. For example, your grandfather is really sick in the hospital. I'm very sure you will go and pay a visit to your grandfather, right? Along with that, okay, there is also a sense of solidarity. Once you go out of Nagaland, okay, if you find any of the Nagas, living in that particular city, you try to build some good relationship with those people, right? Why? Because those people are your in-groups, right? That is what it means by sense of solidarity. Next is loyalty, okay? You're loyal to your own tribal people. You're loyal to your own clan, that is what it means here. And there is also a sense of friendliness, you have a relationship, which is quite intimate. And along with that, you build good rapport with those people. And obviously, like I've mentioned, cooperation is very much required in those group of people. The next is out-group, okay? What does it mean here? Out-group, okay, it's given in your page number 22, okay, your fourth paragraph, okay? It is a formally organized or not toward whom we feel a sense of indifference, okay? Means, it's just a formally organized group. You are together because you are supposed to achieve something. It's something like goal-oriented only, right? Or not toward whom we feel a sense of indifference, avoidance, disgust, okay, competition, or outright conflict. Okay, all groups may be called as T groups. Okay, not us, but they. Okay, not we group, but they group. That is what it means here. Okay, so that is what it means by out groups. Okay, where there is a sense of outright conflict or there is a sense of competition. Okay, for example, sports meet. Okay, now in your school or in your college, there are different groups, right? For example, blue house, green house, right? And red house, yellow house. So there are various colors, various houses which has been divided among the students. Now what happened is that if there is a football match between the blue house and the red house, obviously the red house will never support the blue house. The blue house will also never support the red house people, right? Why? Because there is competition between these two group of people. And this is the reason why, okay, there is always, this group will say that, red house group will say that the blue house are my out groups. Why? Because they do not belong to that particular group of people. Same with the blue house, okay. So that is the reason why there is a sense of competition among this group of people, okay. And also, when we come back to the classes, okay, even classes, class-wise, okay, class 10, class 11, okay, or even class 12, right? There is always a sense of feeling, of out-group towards the class 11 students by the class 12 students, right? I belong to class 12 and he is just class 11. Or, if there is any match going between class 11 and class 12, the class 11 will obviously be against the class 12, right? Even the spectators also, right? So it shows that, okay, there is a sense of a difference between this group of people. And that is the reason why they are called as out group. People who does not belong to the same group, in simple terms, okay? And they have this relationship because they are formally organized. That is what it means here. Now, the next point, okay, or there is a feeling of, what do you say? Opposition, okay? There is a feeling of opposition towards each other in the out group, okay? So one group has a feeling of opposition towards the other in the out group, people. The next is formal and informal group, okay? Formal and informal group. So we have been discussing about this group of people, right? So I have mentioned about the formal groups. Okay. Now, here it says that informal group of people, informal and formal. Okay. Now, this group of people is somewhat like the primary group, where they have intimate relationship with each other, they have face-to-face interaction, and what happened is that, and that is the reason why they are very closely bind to each other. Okay, they are united. Okay, they are coherent to each other. That is what it means here. Here the idea which was given by C.H. Coley, okay, can be applied to the informal group. Okay, they are not forced by anybody, but what happened is that they just come together since they feel that they have this connection between each other. Excuse me. Now, formal group, has to be sanctioned by some organization. It can be some political parties, coming for some reasons, or it can be some associations where some students come together in order to ask for scholarships from a certain body. Okay, it can be various groups of people. Okay, which comes for a certain purpose. Okay, and that is the reason why they are called as the formal group. Okay, here formal groups or organizations are characterized by impersonality, ranked positions. Now there is this feeling of impersonality, means quite opposite to this informal group. It is not personal to each other. Okay, for example, you go to a protest and you meet some people, and then you start sharing with those people, all your personal thoughts and your personal life and everything. I'm very sure none of us will do that until and unless, we have gone crazy, right? So until and unless we are that group of people, we will never share such relationship with those people. So that is the reason why formal group, has impersonality. You're not very close to the people in that particular group. The next is, it is ranked according to a particular position, ranked position. So in that group, okay, what happened is that in an office, there is a person who is the head. For example, in a college, principal is the head, right? Then comes the teachers. Then comes the faculties, the office staffs, right? So in that way, there is a certain ranking. I have given it in a very simple term. Principal, teachers, the office assistants, then come the peon and everything, right? So there are different, hierarchical, distinctions which has been made in the formal groups. And it can be large in size. This one, informal, is small in size, but formal is large in size. In a school, or in a college, there are so many people who are working together, right? So that is the reason why in the formal groups, the groups are large in size. And also, there are different mixture, there are different groups of people. There are different groups of people who come together in order to work, and thus it helps them to achieve a certain goal, okay? It helps them to achieve a certain goal. And in the informal, when we talk about the informal, okay, it has a very small, it can be a small group of people, like your family. Your family members consist of around 5 members, maybe 6, 7, 8, or maybe at the most 10, but not more than that, right? Or maybe it may vary, but the size is not very big. Even your close friends, okay, your peer groups and everything, it might not be a very big one, right? You might know a lot of people, but you're very close and intimate to certain group of people. And that group is called as the informal. And formal, like I've mentioned, it has been sanctioned by somebody, okay? And that is how, you come together, okay? So with that, I will conclude our classes today. But the textbooks, I kindly request all the students to go through the textbooks, okay? And the answers are given there, okay? So you may refer to your textbooks, and and this time, I want you to stay safe, and stay at home. Okay, thank you so much.